And so they were discussing glass, and they were talking about how uh, um, glass doesn't occur naturally. And I'm like, wait a second. I think they kind of misspoke is what they did. I think
I found a stack of records in my attic today, an Elvis picture disc and Kenny's big old hay. Put them up on eBay for the day was done. Watch the bids roll in till the morning sun.
welcome everyone to the video. Welcome to the channel. This is gonna be the Tuesday What's Sold video, and yes, it is coming out later in the day. I think we all know by now, if you follow the channel, why I'm just tired. But the show must go on. The show must continue. We will still release it today on Tuesday, no matter what. Hopefully, no matter what. We're going to talk about really quick before we get to the what's sold, some sports news, and advertisement update. Not on the big advertisement news, just on what I'm doing. And something about glass too. I was watching someone talk about glass. So I'll get to that in a little bit. But first, let's quickly just jump into the sports world, not the sports card world, where we've been experiencing there may or may not be shill bidding going. Well, we definitely know someone was shill bidding because they did basically come out and said it. And posted about it. Posted, went on a podcast about it and everything. But something kind of completely different from that is, and it's regarding shoes and athletes and shoe brands. I think it was 3 or 4 days ago. Steph Curry, who plays for the Golden State Warriors, pretty popular player. I'm pretty sure he's blasted all over everywhere. Most people, I'm pretty sure, are aware of who he is, whether or not you follow sports or not. But he parted ways with Under Armour. And what makes it news and what makes it unusual is because of how late in his career, this is happening. Typically, I think, if I'm not mistaken, he had a lifetime deal with Under Armour already. So, the assumption was he was going to continue with Under Armour. It was not even a story until it broke that he parted ways, and which is very, very unusual at this stage in the game. And Dale had already had a whole line of shoes around him, and he had his own brand within Under Armour. So what happens now? What happens now is he probably is going to sign with some other, maybe he already had something in place. Maybe something has already been set up. I don't know. I don't know the way these things work, but just be aware. I doubt Under Armour Steph Curry shoes will pop off in the reselling market. I severely doubt it, but they could. I mean, I don't know. Under Armour don't really do that well. In general, there are some Steph Curry variants that do good, but most of them, they're pretty generic. And there's a lot out there. So it might not even be, it might not pop off at all. My allergies are not good right now. So we got some medicine in me, waiting for that to work. So just to be aware of something, you want to keep out there in the news, seeing what's going on. Oh, the other thing that I didn't mention earlier, Funko gave some guidance that was not good. Not good guidance. They're not doing well as far as the company goes. They're not a healthy company right now. And by healthy company means they're losing money, basically. So, and they gave future guidance, which is them leading towards a potential bankruptcy. They said they're headed that way. They're not but they're headed if things continue, if they don't right the ship. And their main line, we all know them as Funko Pops. If you're in the industry of reselling, you probably come across them. You go to shows, so many toy shows and comic shows, and they are just flooded. I have made it known I don't like Funko Pops. I can't stand Funko Pops. I'm tired of seeing Funko Pops. And I wish they would. They do have other things besides their standard Funko Pop. They do other collectibles and things like that. But Funko Pops, the big heads, that is their main. Their what is it? Golden goose? Is that that's the right word? Um, the right words, I should say. But they're not doing very well. And so that means what does that mean, or what is that? Why are they not doing so well? Well, people aren't buying Funko Pops anymore, and it could be that the market is pretty flooded. Now they do and found success with uh, um, you know, hooking up, getting together with other IPs and IPs, intellectual properties, like Marvel, Star Wars. They got nostalgia ones as well too. So they've been able to really, really, stick to the same thing, but branch it out horizontally, and it's been done very well for them. Well, I think they finally hit the point where, and I mean, I think we all know, we would go to stores, you see Funko Pops all over the place. They're just flooded in these stores. And, the market is now saying, we're done. The market has decided there's too many of them now. We have too many of them. We have what we want already. We don't necessarily need any more. And, I think they've pretty much reached the limit as far as what else they can make into a Funko Pop. What other variant, the minis, the big, the regular ones. Yeah, I think they've run the whole gambit of IPs. There's probably plenty of IPs they can go after, but I think people are now done with it. And it's now you're starting to see, it's already happened, and it's happening, the decline of Funko Pops. And, back in the day, when it comes to collectibles and things like that, to get a good pulse, you'd have to be really immersed in that industry. And I was back in the day, when we were going to shows all the time, there was really no, wasn't much social media, when I was doing this. I think MySpace came around. I was kind of already on the tail end of doing my shows and everything. But going to all these events and everything, we got a good sense of what's happening with the market, where things are moving. Not just within sports cards, which is what I did specialize at that time, sports cards and memorabilia, but we kind of saw where other collectibles were going. Were they up? Were they down? What were your sales like? Hey, how's your sales go? Oh, I see you're selling that new thing. What's up with that? Where'd you get that from? Oh man, you have a whole bunch of those. Are you still moving them, or what's your price point? So we were able to gauge what's going on, because we had a huge, buyers were coming into these shows, and there were people there, sellers, and be able to get a good pulse on what is happening with the industry. Nowadays, social media, it's definitely a lot easier to gauge what's going on with the market and see where things are going. Back in the day, that's kind of what you had to do. But it looks like Funko Pops are, and you're not seeing much news, like people aren't showing off their big old collections anymore. They're not so much in, if you're still looking at shows and all that, like San Diego Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con, I don't really see too much news on what the latest pops are. Not really seeing any excitement on any exclusives that are coming out from there. So it's really, really starting to go down, and it's a sinking ship. They need, as a company, they need to figure out what's their next move is. They might have bet everything on the Funko Pops, and nothing else is really catching on. So they got to figure something out if they want to continue and avoid, the doom that may or may not be coming for them. And then, let's go into Glass, and then I'll talk about my ads afterwards. So Glass, I heard someone talk about Glass, and they were saying, speaking of a glass piece, I'm going to be showing a glass piece right here. I had some notes really quick that I wrote down. Let me just bring that up. And so they were discussing Glass, and they were talking about how glass doesn't occur naturally. And I'm like, wait a second. I think they kind of misspoke is what they did. I think they misspoke when they said that. I think they were referencing clear glass, like clear glass, like this. I have a mason jar right here, like this clear glass mason jar. Now, I'm not going to say, first of all, this won't occur naturally. First of all, glass occurs naturally. I won't say this doesn't occur naturally. Well, the clear glass, it potentially could. Anything could happen. There might be, a 0.00001% chance that a glass can occur naturally and be this clear. There could be, The odds, though, are not good at all of finding glass that clear in nature. But it occurs, I think the most common that everybody's well aware of is obsidian. That is glass, and it occurs naturally. And then they brought up another thing here that I did want to briefly discuss on and touch on really quick in regard to glass is I wrote it down here because I was just coming up with little ideas here. But sea glass is not a naturally occurring glass. That is a man-made glass, so that happens to end up in the ocean, and it's being tossed around in the ocean, being tumbled in the ocean, and therefore, when you find it on beaches, it usually has very smooth, very cool coloring to it. Very what is the word? Like a frosted look to it. And so that's sea glass. Sea glass starts out as a man-made piece of glass that ends up in the ocean, and through the process of being tumbled around by the waves, eventually ends up on a beach, and it's a nice, smooth little piece. It almost looks like a giant piece of sand. Sometimes, so it's depending on the color too. The color depends on what was discarded in the ocean. So. The process of it, ending up on the beach and looking the way it does is natural, but it doesn't start out as a natural piece of glass. And so glass does occur naturally in nature, and the most common I think that most people are aware of is obsidian. But to get clear glass, see-through glass, like crystal glass and glass for your house to see through the window, that is, you'll probably never see that in nature. That has to be, or should be, most of the time produced, in somewhere. Someone is making that type of glass to get it to that type of clarity to be able to see through it. And then the other fun fact about glass, because I've seen this been tossed around before online, is that glass is a liquid, and technically that is false. It's not a liquid, but if you look at the molecular structure, I'll get a piece of glass. I have this one laying around here. If you look at it molecularly, the way the molecules are arranged in there, and that's because of the process in making glass, the sudden, the heat, that it takes and the sudden cooling down of it, the molecules if you look at the molecules, it's going to look like it is a liquid. When you look at the molecular structure, it's going to look like a molecular structure of something liquid, but technically it's not liquid. It is a solid. And I think some people have gotten that wrong, or they believe that is because sometimes when you look at some old window panes, you'll see it being more thicker, like by this glass. It's thicker towards the bottom. That's just not, it's just the way, it was made. So it just it's not that it's flowing downwards, but it does have a molecular structure, which is liquid, but it's not. It's just because of the way glass is made. I think that's it that I wanted to bring up on that. And okay, advertisements. So what I've been doing as of late, and I believe I mentioned this, I've been going to be trying out more shipping using flat rate shipping. I've been moving some stuff over to flat rate shipping. And it's kind of my control, allowing me to control what goes out into the offsite ads. I talked about this many videos ago, and that flat rate shipping is, or free shipping for that matter, is going to be the way to go if you want to promote offsite. So originally I was just doing clothes and shoes. For anything else, I think that was it. I was just doing clothes and shoes in the flat rates. I had 2 flat rate categories for those business policies, I should say. So I created more for different weights. So I have one that's a 10 ounce and I have it set at a flat rate. I have a 13 ounce set at a flat rate. I have a 1 pound set at a flat rate. And that's all I've been doing right now at this point. I'm thinking about going higher into the 2 pounds and beyond and setting a flat rate for that. And I've been sticking for certain items, not everything. And let me tell you something. My offsite ads, I've been getting sales because of offsite ads. I've been averaging right around $50 or so. It's right around $50. I think it's 51 point something. So let's just say 50, round down to say $50 is what I've been averaging in sales due to offsite ads since I've made these changes daily, every day. So I'm like, oh wow, that's pretty good. And now I was having incredible success. Was it last year or the year before? I forgot already at this point. This all occurred, or I stopped seeing success with offsite ads because I was using offsite ads for a long time. I was seeing incredible success with offsite ads, and all of a sudden the faucet got turned off, and I stopped seeing success with offsite ads. And now it's looking like I'm getting back to having some good success with offsite ads. So what does that mean for me? That means I'm probably going to put more items into the flat rate, into my flat rate business policies, and possibly creating more flat rate policies in the 2 pounds, maybe higher. The only thing is when you get higher, I don't even know what's stopping me from doing that, really. I was just thinking about it right now. What's stopping me from going higher? Nothing really, because all my box sizes are pretty much the same. So, you could have something that is, 3 or 4 pounds, but because it's 20 inches long, that's going to cause the shipping rate to go up. And so for right now, I'm just taking into account weight only, and boxes that are, I forget the actual cubic, dimensions, but I keep it, as long as it fits in a 12 by 10 by 10 box or less, I'm good with no matter what with the weights. So we shall see how that continues to go, but so far so good. I'm liking the results that I'm getting from that. And we're not spending too much. I think I keep it capped at very low. I switched it to very low. Actually, I had it turned off for a bit when I started seeing no activity from it. And then I kind of been turning it up slowly. I think I'm only at, what am I at? $5, I think. $7, $5. I'm only at $5 on it. That's it. And I thought the daily limit on that. So we are seeing some good activity. We are seeing good clicks. And like I said, most importantly, sales. That's the most important thing, are the sales. So that's doing really well. And we may push that budget up. We shall see how things go as I start adding more items into flat rate shipping. And then therefore, because of that, it's going off and being promoted off site. So, okay. Let me stop the video right here and let's do the what sold. Okay. I'm kind of cut off a little bit, but oh well. I think I'm gonna do like 6 or 7 really quick. I just threw a bunch into the store really quick this morning I didn't have anything prepped already. So I just started shooting off a bunch of them into the cloud so that way I can see them right here on my computer. And then you can see them as well. What is this? This is actually it's not necessarily a decanter. I sold it as a decanter, but it actually had maple syrup in it. But that doesn't matter. What matters is the fact that it's cats. Cats sell all the time. Cats are great for selling items. Dogs, okay, not the best. Other animals, some of the animals do good, but cats seem to always consistently do well. Look out for cat things. It's what's sold for. Ooh, see, I was not ready at all. Not ready at all. I think I'm going backwards than from when I actually took these. One at my door. Oh no. $24.64 is what this sold for, and $11.71 is what they paid for it. And I put this inside the car outside, maybe the neighbors, and this went into a one of the Goodwill Advantage boxes, the new ones that I got from USPS. This was in the shoebox size one. So that was really, really cool. Glad I have those boxes and shipping supplies in hand. By the way, every day I've been getting so deep from all my orders, like the back orders are starting to come in. And so I got more yesterday. I got more of the unpadded poly bags. I got to order those in. So pretty cool. And it's really, really helpful. So definitely look out, try to get those if you can. Okay, this sold. I bought the Sabres, and it sold same day. NVIDIA, and it really sold because of NVIDIA. It's not, because I think it's Leeds or something like that is the actual brand, but because it's NVIDIA right here is the reason why it got sold. But NVIDIA Kid, and NVIDIA does, graphics cards. You may know them now from AI. They're in all the AI talk because their hardware, the chips that they design, they don't produce them. They have someone else produce them. They actually design them, are just really good chips for processing. And that's what got this sold. The fact that I had the NVIDIA emblem on there. And this one, just a padded poly bag. I put a padded poly bag just because the little clips and everything, it had a lot of clips on it, and I didn't want anything to break. So I wanted to give it a little bit more protection. $24.86 is what it sold for, and they paid $7.36 in shipping. This R2-D2, I don't think I have to tell you that, that Star Wars sells really well. I have to get my thoughts there. This one sold for $60, $13.54 what they paid in shipping. It did go somewhere within California because that shipping was a bit low. I had to stack 2 boxes together, and the 2 boxes I used were 2 of the new 12 by 12 8 Ground Advantage boxes, and I just stacked them one on top of the other. And then obviously I used padding and everything for it as well. Now this one here, I thought I could probably get it closer to $100. I accepted a $60 offer, got it at the bins, didn't pay that much for it. Surprisingly, it's not that heavy. But there's other ones that are not electronic out there, and those were going for right around $40-ish. I thought I can get a bit more. It was tough for me to find an exact comp on the electronic one. But so I priced about $100. They sent me an offer of $60. We're making good money on it. I said, sure, why not? Let's get it moving. And I'm not in the business of keeping things here in storage all the time for years and years and years. I want to keep them moving and keep them going. So I accepted the offer, and it's on its way. There is something going on right in front of my house. I'm like, what in the world is going on in front of my house? Not directly in front of my house. It's not like right there, which I would probably be able to decipher based on the volume. Oh, yeah, if it was right in front of my garage door. Okay, this is, I never pronounced this one right, but it's the Guatatama noodle bowls. I wish I had the actual chopsticks that went with these, because then I could ask a little bit more. For the pair, $23.29. $13.92 is what they paid in shipping. 8x8x8 box. That 3/8? 3/8. The size box, but square. Or a cube, I should say. So really cool. Just some ramen bowls. Really, really nice. This lazy egg. It's kind of everywhere now. You kind of see this all over the place. So it's not uncommon. But noodle bowls do well. They do. I was gonna say really well, but they do well. And they're pretty cool. Noodle bowls. I have some really cool noodle bowls that I found. Actually, they have a thumb hold. You hold it like this, so the thumb, and then you hold the bottom of the bowl like this. So the part where you actually, it has a like a mug, like a handle, but you use your thumb and then you hold it and you cradle it like this. And it's a really thick ceramic. I really, really like it. Not that we eat that much soup, but I did really like them when I found them. We have them. We use them from time to time. So noodle bowls, ramen bowls come in handy. So really cool. Keep your eye out. Now this was what in the world is going on? I gotta finish this video. Sounds like they're about to do some work outside in the street, I think. I'm gonna have to go look. They stopped picking up on my camera for some weird reason. Man, I don't know what they're doing. Okay, so if you don't recognize this is Yakult. I've never had a Yakult. I don't know what it tastes like, but this is not the actual little bottle of Yakult. This is actually a you put this on this little dots right there and it holds your phone. It's all in Chinese. So I had to scan it with my phone, but you know what this sold for? $17.13. I got this from the Bins. Small padded poly bag. $6.37 is what they paid in shipping. This is a cool little cute thing. Sold. I sold it. It's sold. I mean, there's so many weird things and odd things that sell on eBay. You can go down the rabbit hole of things that you can sell on eBay. There are so many things. One of the biggest problems I see is people don't know how to market it well. And how do you market on eBay? Not necessarily through ads, but through your titles. And that's how nowadays, especially with the introduction of these, I'm going to say AI, but they're just really, really smart search engines. They're really, really pairing the items that people may or may not be interested in. Those items in front of those eyes. And I'm pretty sure that's what happened with this thing. I don't know if anybody's actually looking for a Yakult, cell phone stand. There's a, cell phone stand. There's probably millions of cell phone stands out there, but mine got sold. Really cool little thing. And it's off on its way. I think my eye looks lazy. You gotta lift it up. Or it's not my eye. It looks like my eyelid looks lazy. Like I said, you can get a blepharoplasty done under and covered by insurance if there's a medical necessity for it. So, and one of the medical necessities that I see is it's blocking your vision. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5. I think let's keep going. I think 5. Let's do 7. Let's do 7 here. Okay, Swatch. I talk about Swatch. Keep your eye out for it. It doesn't go for incredible amounts, so don't pay too much for it. But what's cool about Swatch is that they're not usually priced that high. This one I got over at Savers, and this sold for $25. It was in great shape. I replaced the battery, worked great. Just make sure to pull the crown out. Make sure that the hands are there, first of all, and they're not bouncing around inside the case. And then make sure that they move. You can move the hand or set the time. $25, $6.16 what they paid in shipping. Small padded poly bag is what this went into. So keep your eye out for Swatch. Swatch does incredibly well, and they tend to go right around that 20. There's some models that go for quite a bit more. They have a collab with Omega that I think goes for about $200 to $300. So keep your eye out for Swatches. Don't pay too much for them. They do really well. And the last one I'll show you is a purse, which is a really cool one. And I was going to do a little bit more research on this because there is one that does incredibly well. Kate Spade, $44.18 is what they paid for it. $10 that they paid in shipping. $12.86 is what it went into. But just a really cool popcorn bucket style of bag. Or popcorn bucket style purse bag, handbag. I was trying to do the research too and talk at the same time, which apparently is a problem for me. Let me just see, because there's one that does really, really well. And I remember when I was researching, I was like, wow, is that the one I have? No, it's not. Okay, so the one that does really, really well, let me just cross-reference this really quick, is the one that actually has popcorn in it. Well, not real popcorn, faux popcorn. I'll show you a picture right now. Let me pull up so the last sold of this one was $600. I see a lot overseas. So what is it made out of? A patent leather, suede and patent leather. Okay. Let me see if I can get a good, clear shot of this. This person has it on their actual... Oh, here we go. They did a white background or a remove your background, which I don't really care for the remove your background stuff. I've attempted to use it, but sometimes it takes little details out of the picture. It never gives you a nice, clear picture of, it will take details out. So just be aware of that. But this is what it looks like right there. And that's the one that you should be on the lookout for if you ever find it. So Kate Spade, popcorn bucket. I see a lot overseas. The only comp that I see right now, just in my quick little bit of research I did, is $600 for recently sold. But really cool one. Definitely one to keep your eye out for. But, you know, these do really well. These little novelty purses are definitely ones to be on the lookout for. That'll be it. Okay, that's the end of the video. If I was talking too fast, forgive me. Better than a minute. But yeah, that's the end of the video. I'm gonna get this edited and uploaded. Thanks for watching.
Hey, you've made it to the end. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this content, please like the video by hitting the thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel by hitting my little round icon down below. It really does help us out here. Also, you'll find a couple of selections. You'll see a playlist of videos to watch and my most recent video that I did upload.